I'm Dermot Dermot and you're watching Dukascopy TV for this special look at today's rate decision for South Africa. The country has followed India and Turkey this week as the central bank decided to raise rates to protect its currency. The central bank's aim to stop the decline in the currency appeared to have backfired within minutes of the announcement as the rand fell sharply. I'm joined by Annabel Bishop from Investec in Johannesburg. Now, Annabel, many experts were not expecting this, but Investec said there was a risk of a hike. So what are your thoughts about today's decision? Do you think it was the right one?
The reason we were highlighting it as a risk was because the money market curve had been pricing in the likelihood of a hike, and as a consequence, the Reserve Bank hadn't talked the markets out of it, so that's why we were highlighting it as a risk. I think it may, in the long term, prove to be the wrong decision, because the fact that if you hike interest rates in a very weak economic growth environment, it's going to weaken growth even further, and foreigners are likely to sell off in addition to what they've sold off already in terms of their holdings of South African equities and bonds. So that's the risk that the rand now weakens further on this rate increase.
And Annabel, looking at market reaction, I mentioned earlier the rand tumbled sharply after the announcement. Can you tell us more about this, your forecast for the rand, and what sort of response did we see with bonds and stocks?
Basically, it's because I think foreigners are selling off equities now in South Africa, because they're expecting higher interest rates this year, so our growth will be lower.
South African inflation came in below expectations in December. What are your main concerns for inflation, and what sort of forecast do you have for this year?
I think inflation will run around 6%, and we're not expecting to see inflation run much above 6% because of the fact that consumer demand is weak and it's likely to get weaker this year.
And finally, what are the main challenges facing growth this year, and what sort of impact are the mining strikes having at the moment?
The mining strikes are obviously having a negative impact on the rand, and that is obviously causing it to have weakened.
Annabel, thank you very much for your commentary. Well, viewers, Monica Gibson today conducted an interview focusing on the South African rand and the lira, so make sure you check it out. Goodbye for now.